What's going on, Mitch's world? You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Nah, I don't like the way this. I'm gonna have to hold the mic today because I don't know. It's something about the fuzzy head. It is what it is. But what's going on, Mitch's world? You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and for that, I am grateful. Today is Monday. I shot a video yesterday. I just wasn't feeling it, and it wasn't. I've learned in my time of life not to do things when I'm angry or not even angry, but at any like extreme emotional state because it can go well, might not go well. The video wasn't bad, but I wasn't on track, and I'm so glad I didn't. I sat with it because like today's a new day, and it's one of those things. I'm gonna address the situation, but it's not that deep. It really isn't that deep. You know what I'm saying? So, but before we get into all that, we got to get into this fit. I'll be honest with you. And this is, I mean, you guys know I'm already kind of full of myself, but like, I really think I'm a wavy dresser. You know what I'm saying? Like real groovy type of dude. You know what I mean? So this is giving like groovy type of vibes. Like got the oversized pants, like bell bottom type esque pants. Got the, knitted polo type vibe. The green and brown's always good. Dancing off the sambas. Hold on. Let me bring you up a little closer. So obviously, and the zip down is the details on the zip. You know what I mean? Got the pants. Dancing off the sambas. Dance, dance. Bang. All right. So let me recap my week, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes. Last week was very straightforward. Just worked for the most part, and like I told you guys, now that I'm back working, if you guys are gonna hear my work woes. I love what I do, so it's not like a bad thing. If there's anything that I don't like about what I do, it's some of my clients, not all of them. A lot of them do right. They handle their business, but just in a people business or sales business, and the type of clientele I deal with, people's priorities aren't all the way together. So for you guys that don't know, I sell life and Medicare insurance, right? Well, just to see I deal with primarily seniors. To see older people not have their stuff together is very disheartening, but it's also a reflection of who they always have been, right? Because I come across people that are in great positions. You know what I'm saying? They have their stuff together. They got their ducks in a row. But unfortunately, a lot of people do not have their stuff together. They just don't. And it's not top priority. And if you dig in deep, I'm pretty sure somebody would look at my stuff and be like, hey, your stuff's not all the way together. I think my stuff's a little bit better than most, but there's always room for improvement. So, but to say that dealing with some of the clients can be, the mindsets of some of my clients can be a handful, just because it's ignorance. Yeah. So, but yeah, working was good this week. Monday, Tuesday, pretty straightforward. Wednesday, went to a Bible study. So Travis, which is my little brother, I met his aunt at the graduation dinner for him, and she goes to a church called Change. And I don't know when I became this guy that's just getting in all these church communities and all these things, but it's an interesting dynamic. I thoroughly do enjoy it because it's not, church is the medium. That's the place where I'm meeting the people, but it's still people at the end of the day. So just hearing some of the mindsets. So long story short, I went to the Bible study on Wednesday. I was the only guy. No, it was me and another guy. It was two guys, like 15 women. And one of the girls said something that in my mind, ignorance. You know what I'm saying? I would call a spade a spade. It was ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why we are in these spaces, because I think sometimes you don't know things. I'm pretty sure people listen to me like, what's this nigga talking about? Like, somebody take his mic. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, you know, it was ignorant. So here's what she said, because I will start rambling. She was like, yeah, I need a man of God so he can understand when I'm fasting, I'm not cooking for 3 days. It's not a big deal. Girl, what are you talking about right now? Like, what do you mean it's not a big deal? So I'm supposed to starve because you fasting focus up, please. You know what I'm saying? And not saying we can't fast or whatever the case may have you, but like that just made no sense in my personal opinion because I'm like, just because you're fasting, and not saying I can't cook, like I can cook. I think I'm really good cook. Actually, well, I know, not even I think. I'm really a nigga on the on the grill, in the kitchen. I will cook for the Obamas right now. That's how I feel. But that's neither here or there. It's not a glaze session because you guys, I think if you watch any one of these videos, you understand my thought process and how I feel about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cut from a different cloth, but that's neither here or there. Like, don't turn off the video. Let's get back to the main thing. So she said that, and I'm like, there's so much ignorance and misinformation running around. And one thing I realized in going in these church spaces is like these women, it's not that they like, okay, the God piece is there. You're after God's heart and God will provide your desires. But I think there is a human element to what we're doing. And that free will piece is where we can, if we're not ready, we can mess up blessings and certain things and move in a manner that just isn't gonna help us, right? So, prime example, that mindset right there, it will, it gives the opportunity if she's not with the right person for someone else to come in and be like, oh yeah, hey, I done made your man dinner. You know what I'm saying? Because he came to work talking about he was starving because you ain't cooked in 3 days. And now you're like, oh, you feel some type of way. But it's like, this is what, you allowed to happen. Hey, how are you? So yeah, it's one of those things. It really is one of those things. So yeah, just a lot of ignorance. But anyway, getting in these spaces and these communities. Let me get back to that. I'm gonna go forward to get back. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, I don't remember doing too much. Friday, what did I do Friday? Friday, went and got some Korean barbecue. I'm gonna put a video of our picture, something. I love the Korean barbecue. I went to Chubby Kettle. So Chubby Kettle is my personal spot. If I'm going one-on-one, dolo, I'm going to Chubby. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more pricey. I'm going to spend $100 a person. But for me, it's like, now if I'm going on date night, I'm going to find something a little bit more, we both going to eat for the sleeve. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. If anybody watches, everybody, this nigga here. That's why I'm not dating right now because like I'm dating me. You know what I'm saying? Like I treat myself very well. Very, very well. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I don't treat others well, but I feel like in a dating space, I should be able to treat you just as like I would treat myself. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my rule of thumb. It's like if I would do it for me, I would do it for you, So I'm not in a position to do that right now. Like mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, I don't have it to give, so I'm not giving it. So anyway, that was Friday. Saturday, what did I do Saturday? Oh, went on a hike. So went on a hike with another Christian community, 2030s Young Adult Ministry, I think is what they're called. That was a vibe. That was good times, and made some good connections. I end up connecting with, her name's Jada. The way I remember it, she says like ta-da, but Jada. So anyway, so connected with Jada. I actually had a call with her today, and we're creating like a collab for our groups. So we're going to collab, do a game night end of this month. Today's the 1st of June, so here we are. So doing that, and Sunday, yesterday, went to church, and I'm gonna get into why I felt some type of way yesterday because it happened at church. But went to church, and then after church, I came to Alabama actually, and I'm still here now. But I came, the homie, shout out to homie Ken. Ken was having a function at her house, Sunday dinner. So did the Sunday dinner. It was super vibey. I rock with it. It kind of gave me like, I watch a lot of mashup videos and DJing videos on YouTube. And like it gave like that type of vibe where it's like, all right, it's a gathering, everybody's doing, I was on the grill, ribs was top tier. It's me once again. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm that nigga on the grill, and I have proof. I'm gonna put proof in the video so y'all know I'm not capping. Like, because I'm really him when it comes to that grill. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my man Alfred. Alfred, for you guys that don't know, I'm gonna give you a quick story about Alfred. This is gonna be a longer video. I feel it now. So Alfred, that's my OG. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you guys that know, most people do, but grew up in a single parent household. I know my father, can call him, do all the things, but like we don't have that type of relationship. Like, where I'm comfortable with my father, but like I didn't grow up with my father. You know what I'm saying? So it's like getting to know him as an adult is different than getting to know him like growing up with him. You get what I'm saying? So backtrack. I'm house hacking. For you guys that don't know, I used to live in the master of my house in North Carolina, and I would rent out the 2 rooms. So I ended up renting a room to Al. Al, at the time, he was like 62, 63, older guy. But long story short, Al and I vibed, and we ended up living together for like 2 years. But a year of that, it was just us, just because like it just worked. So it's like I wasn't too pressed to bring somebody else into the fold. And we had a good relationship. He worked nights, I worked during the day. So it was really like I was living by myself because like he'd be gone at night and like during the day I'd be gone. So every Friday, Al and I would get on the grill, and like that was just our thing. We'd grill out, grab some beers because he was off on Fridays. I take it pretty easy on Fridays, and I still do. And it was just a vibe, right? So with that being said, it's like I learned a lot. He's from Texas too, so I learned a lot about grilling, wood chips, your coals, all the different. It's a science to it. I mean, like ribs was slapping. I like making lamb chops. I'm still working on my steak game on the grill. Like, of course I can make good steak, but like you have to get your coals right for the right temperature. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be with the steak, you got to monitor it. You know what I'm saying? Like feel like with ribs and other things, you could just leave it on there and vibe like that. But anyway, that's neither here or there. So real nice on the grill, did what I was supposed to do. And that was it. Let me backtrack. So yesterday, she will remain unnamed. Girl, just in conversation, I don't think it was personal, like a personal attack on me. Well, I mean, she was very blunt about it, and I'm a very blunt person. So it's like, I caught myself. I'm like, let me not say anything. Cause like at the time I wanted to like let her know about herself, but like that desire to humble people sometimes is not a good spirit for me, because like if I get mad, I will try to humble you. And like, it's going to come across the wrong way, especially in the church setting. So anyway, Girlie said something to me yesterday. She was like, yeah, I don't like your morning thoughts. I'm like, okay. And like, for me, if you follow me on IG, like, like that's the reason my IG is private. Cause like, I'm on the road to being an influencer. I do all the things, yeah. It's like, I could easily open up my IG and I just don't do my morning thoughts anymore. But like, I do my morning thoughts because it's a free form of expression for me. Right. So she's like, I don't like your morning thoughts. I don't want to know that much about you. And she said it very just like that, like very nonchalant. And like, I don't know why it triggered me, but it did. And I had to sit with it, because it's like, I realized in that moment, I have a desire to be accepted. I want to be accepted by everyone. And I have to realize I'm not everybody's cup of tea, like real life. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I think I have the personality that you're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I have a unwavering confidence about myself that if you're not confident in yourself, it could trigger a deeper response within you. First and foremost, that's one thing that I noticed. But even outside of just having that deeper confidence in myself, I realize like everybody doesn't like the way I am. You know what I'm saying? In the sense that like I just keep it real with people. I'm very blunt, very, in your face. And I get that from Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my baby Liz. But I get that from Liz. Like, you got to think about it. My mom is probably one of the most confident people I know, first and foremost. And she's also has that I don't give a fuck type of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she's always been like that. So it's like, and I'm so glad she raised me, because just based off what I know about my father's not like that. So I couldn't even imagine myself being like a passive man, or even worse, like a passive aggressive man. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't stand them. Not my cup of tea. I'm a very direct person. Like, you're gonna know where I stand with you. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. And that's one thing I am working on, is not everything has to be said. Hence why I didn't say nothing to the old girl yesterday, because I really wanted to let her know about herself. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. And like, but the point I'm making, when I recorded the video yesterday, I found myself addressing her just like I addressed it now, but it was in a much more rough and roundabout the way, you know what I'm saying, like, type of vibe. And I'm like, nah, this, first of all, you just got out of church, my guy, like, relax, chill. And like, I had to ask myself, like I always do, what is your end goal? Like, when I do anything, I always operate with the end goal in mind, because I feel like when you operate with the end goal in mind, you move differently, right? A lot of people don't operate with that end goal in mind. Now, don't get me wrong, I do shit for the plot too. I love a good story. You know what I'm saying? A good storyline. I will do some shit for the plot. But 9 out of 10 times, if it's, day-to-day life, I'm not on vacation, I'm not doing nothing wild, what is my end goal? Because when you operate with the end goal in mind, you realize a lot of things aren't relevant. A lot of things don't deserve your time, energy, or effort. And you can move with a certain level of like, all right, this doesn't align with who I'm trying to be the next 5 years, next 10 years, next 15 years. So it doesn't matter now. I'm going to dead it. You know what I'm saying? So took a breather, enjoyed myself last night, had some fun, and now I realize like it was never that deep. So yeah, but one thing I realized lately is I've been in a lot more social settings than I've ever been in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and these are social settings I'm putting myself in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not like, yeah, I'm putting myself in these social settings. I'm seeking them. I'm being consistent with them. I'm building relationships and I'm building community. And one thing, my man Leon called me yesterday and he was like, yo, bro, I need something like what you got going with your group. I see what you're doing. I fuck with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And one thing I'm realizing is a lot of people don't have community, right? Especially a lot of men. A lot of us don't have community and like healthy community. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, I was like that. Like, I had dudes I could step out with, go chase a couple females, do this, do that. But like, community that's going to make you better for your long term, right? Because at the end of the day, all that chasing hoes and, partying, hanging out, what's your end goal? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is that important? It's a moment, it's a vibe, it feels good, it's easy. And a lot of times I think I'm not like, when I make these, I speak to everyone, but I speak to men. You know what I'm saying? I speak to someone at home that's watching this, and what's your end goal? Like, a lot of times as us as men, I think we choose the easy route, and that's not a characteristic that I want as a man. It started with me going to the gym where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to choose to do harder things, right? And I build up that callus to where it's like, all right, cool. I'm pushing my limits. I'm testing myself. I'm doing the necessary things to choose the harder route. But now I also realize it's transferred and spilled over to other areas of my life, right? So when I'm moving in those other areas of my life, I'm doing the necessary things to just kind of make sure that I am choosing hard on a day-to-day basis and building up those characteristics of the man I desire to be. Not the man in the moment, but long term. Because I feel like a lot of us as men, we choose the easy route, and you have to choose your hard. You either pay now or you pay later, right? And what I mean by that is like, okay, let's say I don't go to the gym. That's easy now, right? But in later years, I have all these chronic illnesses, diseases, things like that, because I didn't use my body the right way. I'm paying for it later. That's an example. So it's just one of those things where I feel like a lot of us need to be choosing hard, and but not only choosing hard, because it's not about choosing hard. It's about being around other people that are going to hold you accountable to the things you say you want and desire for yourself. Right. But one thing I realize as I do community, accountability requires vulnerability. Let me say that again. Accountability requires vulnerability because you have to let people into your mess. And a lot of times, you want to present yourself to a like that you're so well put together and you're so this and you're so that. And I think that's where like I disconnect with a lot of church people and just people in general. It's funny how this all tying together, in my personal opinion. Because like with old girl, like I realized like when she says I don't like your morning thoughts, I'm like, and I mentioned to her, I'm like, I just keep it real. I say a lot of things that people wish they could say, but they don't say. They keep it in because of this quote unquote etiquette or this, like this social norms that the world has created. And in all actuality, it's like who creates social norms? Society. We are society, so you create your own norms, whatever you desire. And I think like there's people that benefit from me keeping it real. There's people that benefit from me doing these videos. There's people that benefit from me talking to you and being vulnerable with things I struggle and deal with. Because guess what? If everyone just kept it like clean, neat, made it look a certain type of way, and never like looked deeper or dug deeper into who they are or who they present to be, not even who they are, who they present to be and who they present to the world, it's like one of those things where you're limited. You're super limited on who you are and how you grow and how you show up. So I encourage everybody, every man, every person watching this to find community that challenges them. I challenge you to find community that builds you up. And if you can't find it, create it. But whatever your interests are, whatever your hobbies are, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like I ride my bike, I'm going to create a community with black men that want to ride their bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even think I'm limited to just black men, but like just people, that want to ride their bike and so on and so forth. Whatever space you want to be in, whatever, like, because we all need community. And I think a lot of us, I know for a long time, what I would do is isolate. I took pride in isolating and or being one-on-one. And I still like being one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? I think that's when you get the most authentic version of me, is like when you are one-on-one. And that's not a space I share with a lot of people. Um, because it's like that one-on-one is like, not saying you're not getting the real me now, but it's like whether we're on the phone, we're communicating, whatever. When I give you my one-on-one time, it's like you fuck with me to a certain degree where like, all right, I fuck with this nigga, like, and I value his opinion. And one thing I realized again with community is like I talked to my man Will this weekend. That's my brother, and like we had a real conversation. Obviously, I'll spare you the details, but like things he's dealing with, like he didn't ask for my opinion, but I know he values my opinion because of our dynamic and our relationship. And one thing, all I could do is hold you accountable as a man, right? And I think again, through his vulnerability with me came accountability. So I think it's one of those things like you have to have that vulnerability to have accountability to have community. Because like if you're doing real community, it's more than just me showing up to a game night, having a couple, whatever pieces of food, some surface level conversation, keeping it moving. Because you'll never truly get what you desire. You think about your most deep, intimate relationships. They know a lot about you. They don't know just surface level things, because like keep a surface level relationship away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good on that. I rather get the real you, the authentic you, and give you the authentic me. That way we can see each other for where we are and then build based off of that and that dynamic. So yeah. Okay, yeah, we're at 24 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it on up because again, I will ramble. But yeah, guys, men, find community, find people that are gonna hold you accountable and sharpen you. Because at the end of the day, like you don't want to be a dull sword out here because you can't cut nothing. You can't do nothing as a dull sword, and you're useless. If you're not useful, you're useless. Remember that. So, and that's not my quote because I know you're gonna watch this and like this nigga just stole my grandfather's quote. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Guys, find community, find people that are going to challenge you, sharpen you, better you, and put you in a position to win. Because that's all. At the end of the day, men lie, women lie, winners don't. You know? I know that's not the quote, but like everyone loves a winner. So like if all else fails, just win. So, but thank you guys for tuning in this week. I appreciate you. You guys enjoy your week.